With the recent announcement of Juice WRLD's new album, The Party Never Ends, releasing on November 29th, it would also be shared this is the final Juice WRLD album, meaning for as we know it, Juice WRLD will now be officially done. However, after further investigation, fans figured out the real plan, and let me explain. It all started with Lil Bibby sharing on Instagram, "The GOAT, we party next week." This is a reference to the long-awaited album, The Party Never Ends. As the rollouts for the album all started on December 16th with Juice's single, It, featuring Eminem and Benny. As Benny would write on Instagram, people always say things like, "This song means a lot to me," or "It changed my life," when discussing a piece of music they are listening to. But Lace It truly gives a new meaning to me because the day that we recorded it was also the last time that I ever saw Juice. Every day the moment gets further away, and I would trade this or any other song just to have him back. I didn't think I would be crying while writing this, but here we are. Jared, you are the talent that will never be matched. Your laugh and spirit are infectious. I'm gonna play this song so loud so you can hear it in heaven tonight. We miss you. Where Benny would also go on to share a never before seen interview from Juice WRLD and how he got into music.
Music has pretty much been a factor in my life, like my whole life, like low-key from like 2 years old on. My cousin told me he used to blast music around me, like Wu-Tang, and I was just like, rap the lyrics, like mumble the lyrics, not even knowing what I was saying, just kind of like mumbling like the cadence of the song. That's how it started. My junior year in high school, I was like, yo, this is like what I want to do. Like I used to like freestyle with my neighbors. They were like about to graduate high school, and I was like in junior high, keeping up with them. And at first, I used to want to be like Eminem or like Tyler the Creator. I used to say like wild to get people's attention and just try to come up with the most wildest punchlines and wordplay, trying to be as clever as possible.
Now this ends up connecting with the words that Benny shared about Juice WRLD in this specific interview.
He goes in and does the entire song from start to finish, the whole song, the entire thing. So he does the whole song and he goes, all right, run it back again. Pick the best one. In that moment, my jaw dropped. And I said, oh, I'm in the room with a superstar.
But Eminem being on the first song in the new album is very important. Juice WRLD took a lot of inspiration from Eminem. He even said he wanted to be just like him in the interview I shared. But it was a very special moment when Eminem gave such heavy praise to Juice WRLD for his talents, noting the unbelievable 1 hour long freestyle that he did.
Yo, shout to Juice too, man. Like, yo, that kid was so talented, man. He, like his freestyle he did on Westwood where he rapped for an hour, like what the? That's the that we used to try to do at the hip-hop shop.
As Eminem would even continue on further, speaking on Juice WRLD one more time before being officially invited to be on the Party Never Ends album.
To be so young, he like mastered that so quickly. Like his potential was so off the chart.
But here's where things get interesting, as there would be exclusive footage of Juice WRLD shared during Juice WRLD Day where fans, family members, and friends would all get to listen to the album early. As everything was going great, enjoying Juice WRLD's music, celebrating the life of their favorite rapper, until Ali Lottie came into play. She would hop on Instagram Live saying, and I quote, "Do you guys really think Juice passed from that? You're wrong, you're wrong. Literally, you're wrong. There's a lot of stuff you guys don't even know." Making fans start their own investigation, and what they found is surprising. It all started with an old Juice WRLD tweet of, "My goal is to get overly famous, shine for a couple years, and then fake my passing," making many believe he could be alive. But to understand it all, we need to dive deep in December 8th, 2019, as on that day, Juice WRLD, alongside Ali Lottie, his filmer and security, were all boarding onto a private jet flying into Chicago. While boarding the plane that was already late for around 50 minutes, when they finally arrived, everything felt very strange.
It was acting weird, the stewardess lady was acting weird, and I just felt something off. I got up to like, yo, we should leave. You know what I mean? I got up and walked to the door, and then like,
Crazy.
to see if the cars were still there, and I'm like, because I was gonna be like, yo, let's just go off this plane right now.
Yeah.
Like,
As sources claim, the pilot was the first one to get onto the plane. While Juice WRLD and his company were all boarding the jet, bringing their luggage on, the pilot of the plane would notice a very strong smell of narcotics. He would then leave the plane, call law enforcement for the tip, where law enforcement told the pilot to just have the flight go as planned. Don't do anything suspicious. This is what caused the 50-minute delay. On Juice WRLD's private jet, they loaded up 70 pounds of extracurricular items that was stuffed into suitcases, 2 illegal firearms, as well as multiple items in Ali Lottie's handbag. This made many blame the pilot for Juice WRLD's passing, including Ali herself.
I've lost 2 of the most important people in my life because of snitches.
But as directed by law enforcement, the flight was going on normal as usual. This was, however, until arriving into Chicago, where the flight got into the certain point where you're allowed to turn off airplane mode, as while being only 5 minutes away from the airport, Juice WRLD security would receive a text saying the entire airport is filled to the brim with law enforcement agents and FBI dogs.
everything was normal and everything was fine. And once we started getting closer to Chicago and we started getting service on our phones, our security guard, Hen, texted the group chat and was basically like, cops are here and they have a dog.
As it would be this moment where everyone would start panicking. While doing so, Juice WRLD would consume items that were stored in Ali Lottie's handbag. Law enforcement believe that during the flight, when Juice WRLD and his team were told that the FBI is awaiting their arrival, he took more and more of these items in an attempt to hide them from the authorities. You see, lawyers noted the plane was rented in Juice WRLD's name. This means any illegal item that was on the flight all would have been put on him when law enforcement searched the plane. We're unsure of the exact amount of time Juice WRLD would have been locked up for, but according to lawyers online, they predicted a maximum of 20 years inside a federal prison for using a private jet to transport 70 pounds of illegal items, as well as carrying 2 illegal firearms. Hearing that information would have caused anyone to get nervous. When you mix that in with knowing the FBI is awaiting your arrival, this is what caused Juice WRLD's heart to go into overdrive, sadly causing the incident outside of the airport. When it happened, ambulance was called. Witnesses claim Juice WRLD was then transported to emergency care where he sadly passed. As while the paramedics were helping Juice, the canines were going through their luggage on the plane. The dogs quickly sniffed out the illegal items, where they would end up arresting everyone on the plane right on site. But it would be later revealed why Juice WRLD brought these items on this plane and transported all of these illegal items across the United States, as Juice WRLD was having his birthday party the following day, as mentioned by his filmer Chris.
Weekend, we're going to Chicago to celebrate his birthday. It was just his birthday the other day, but we're going this weekend, Saturday. We're flying out there. We're gonna have a birthday party with his mom and family and friends and stuff like that from out there. So,
as with an investigation in place, rapper Boosie suggested the pilot of the plane was ultimately responsible for the passing of Juice WRLD. With the information getting leaked into the local news by TMZ, rappers would begin reacting instantly. As G Herbo would share,
"Man, I don't know. You know, that was my real little brother, bro. So it's like, man, I don't know. We still, you know, we dealing with that day, to be honest, man. It's still, of course, I'm not even gonna say I don't think, it ain't even been a day he ain't crossed my mind in some form or fashion, you know what I'm saying? So,
to even Post Malone sharing this.
I wasn't necessarily close with him, but I got to speak to him, you know, a couple times, and just the sweetest guy. And
we would even see the kid Leroy share his experience with Juice WRLD, which is a very important moment to witness.
I learned a lot of stuff being around him and his process and how he records.
Most rappers would probably be making a mistake if they tried to record the way that Juice did.
No, he was the GOAT, the best.
To even the kid Leroy sharing how Juice WRLD helped him on the come up in the rap industry.
And the other thing that I took away was really getting in touch with your emotions when making a song. That's one thing that I feel like he did that he did perfectly.
However, 6ix9ine would even reveal on IG Live the two had a very serious beef going on for several months. But the two, right before Juice WRLD sadly passed away, ended up resolving their beef with each other because Juice WRLD reached out to him.
Look what Juice WRLD said. This is one reason I respect Juice WRLD, right? This is when I was clowning him. He messaged me. Look, Juice WRLD wrote me and said, yo, that video's so funny, I can't stop watching it. And you know what I said? I said, yo, call me. He said, you taking over the world. I said, peace, king. He said, what's your number? I sent it.
Freestyle, he really don't write. If you give him a subject, he go rap right now. Half the time, he really freestyles the whole verse. Yeah, he'll really freestyle the whole verse. You can't compete with him. He just one of the ones. He's smart as a... He never run out of nothing to say. He's that smart.